What's up, guys? We are here live in the Expo Hall, Pretty Hair, bringing you some Paladins Battlegrounds action, and I am joined by none other than the man himself, Big Papa hi-rez. How you doing today so far?
Doing good.
Awesome. We're here with some live action. We've got Mick, Joe here, two of the lead developers on this fun new project, and I got to ask, what's the first thing you want to tell us about this new mode?
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. So we got 100 players. And we've actually, how many do we got actually here set up in the Expo Hall? Is it all full 100?
No, at the Expo we have between 40 and 80 people playing at a time.
Wow, so a lot of action happening here, guys. We're going to get this one started. Joe, cue us up for us. We'll just have a couple of things to say about this. So this mode actually has its roots in another mode of Paladins, and some of our older players might remember that survival mode.
Yes, we used to have a survival mode where last man standing was king of the hill type of mode, but it wasn't that popular. So it was taken out. Obviously, with the whole battle royale genre being very popular right now, we figured we'd give a shot for the people that want to play that.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of fun. So let's take it over here, over the shoulder of our designer, Joe, and tell me a little bit about what we're seeing right now.
So the first thing you'll notice is that there's only 8 champions to select from. There's 2 from each category. Hopefully, Joe plays somebody like Victor or whatever it is that he enjoys playing. You know, if you like the other one, Joe,
hey,
go for it.
You, Joe.
Yeah,
you.
Okay. And the 8 characters that you get to select from are different every match. So all teams have the same selections they can make, and you can play 4 of the same characters. So in this particular mode that we're playing today, we have 4 teammates, so it's 4 per team, and they can select all the same characters or all different characters depending on what they want to have their combat. To make sure that the game is not totally out of control, we make sure there's only 8, and therefore you don't have to worry about every single type of class being out there and being confused by that. At the same time, it gives a lot of variations. And the way that'll work is every day there'll be a different set of characters for people to play with, as well as every match will have some that are different.
Okay, so question. You said there will be 8 characters total. What if I'm a brand new player? I don't own any of the Paladins champions. Will I still just have the same 8 picks as everybody else in my lobby?
At least 4 of the champions will always be available every match. So there'll always be at least 1 of each category for you to choose from: a damage, a flank, frontline, or a support character. And you can see now everybody's at the island. Hopefully they can zoom up enough, and you can see a large number of characters all just bouncing around, having a little fun before the actual match starts, with some Zeppelin transportation that will take them to the appropriate area. There's the map of the world. There's specific places that you can click on that show you like where everybody's landing, and the Zeppelin just takes you to that particular spot. The spots you're allowed to take are somewhat random, so you're not going to be at the same exact spots every single time. You have to select it. Now you can see that he's looking at the world map. He's going to a town here, and most of the loot will be in the town itself. One other thing you'll notice that's somewhat different than normal Paladins is that everybody has a mount available at all times. So you can press Shift, get on your mount, do what you need to, and we may have an early fight here because we already have another group there that's looted some boxes and they're fighting. So hopefully Joe will last for more than a few minutes so we get to see some of the gameplay itself. And right now, there's probably not a lot of loot yet from these different classes. Oh, Joe turned into a chicken. A chicken means you're dead. You can still be resurrected by your teammates if they get you. And looks like he was resurrected from chicken, and now they're fighting back. Oh, they turned one of their enemies into a chicken. Now, if you kill the chicken, that's the end of the match for that particular person. Otherwise, you can still be resurrected. Go ahead.
Do the chickens bleed out at all, or do they slowly over time, will they bleed out if they're not resurrected and just die on their own?
Yes, the chicken will die over time if they are not resurrected. And there's a good example of a chicken that may or may not survive. Let's see, Joe can press the R key to revive it, as long as that chicken doesn't run away. Yeah, it's a panicky chicken. And there we go. We do have another revival, but they're still on top of him. So this is, they have 3 people on their team at this point. Looks like somebody died. Now you can see Joe got some quick loot from the loot boxes. There's different quality loot, somewhat similar to the Paladin in-game store, but much stronger. So there's 3 levels of loot quality. With common, he's got 1 piece of purple that you can see up there, which is an epic level. That's fairly high. The best loot by far are legendaries, which come in and they drop off the zeppelins. So you'll see zeppelins flying up high. He's kind of they got into some fighting earlier than most usual. Yeah, I haven't. Most of the time you get to go around looting a bunch first. So this is a little bit more unusual. But you will see zeppelins that come from the sky. They drop legendary loot, which is absolutely ridiculous levels of power, like plus 100% damage or plus 100% health and some other super strong stats. As with most Battle Royale games, there is a fog that comes by, so the circles will converge, and you can see some of it is converging at the moment. There are different areas of play. We have there's a snow area, there's grassy areas. There's a lot of different towns with different types of structures to play around.
I see that. So I'm seeing they were just fighting on the Timber Mill actual map set with all of those, and then you can see up north, there's basically other Paladins maps involved, things you'll recognize like Frozen Guard, Ice Mines, Frog Isle, Jaguar Falls. All of those maps are sort of just dropped into this absolutely massive map. And you can see there's kind of 4 little loot slots there. So
you see that Zeppelin just dropped a legendary drop. So Joe's going to run towards it probably and try to pick it up if he can. There might be some other people. It's usually a high area of contention, but it looks like his teammate may leave it for him so we can actually check the stats on it. Nope, Mick, which is the other developer, decided to grab it and not show it to us.
Mick's greedy.
Yeah, he's greedy. Hey, pop up the screen so we can show people what that loot. So that particular legendary, pop it up again, Mick. Mick, pop the legendary. All right, has plus 100% damage, 90% reduction on healing on targets, and 250% damage to shields. Wow. So if you get 4 of these legendary items, you can take out a whole team on your own if you want.
So let me translate. That is Aggression 10, Cauterize 3, and Wrecker 3, all wrapped into one big, beautiful item. And those come only from the airdrops, the high risk, high reward. They're marked on your mini-map. They're marked with a big purple laser up in the sky. And we're already down to 27 remaining. Mick, Joe, both their teammates are dead, so they'll have to go on 2 guys and a dream. Anything else we're going to be seeing here as kind of the map is closing down?
So we have 27 players, fog about to come in. You can see that Joe currently has 3 items. 2 of them are epic level, 1 is a common. And he's going to want to fill in those other slots because these items are all extremely strong and you do need them to have any kind of strong team fights.
So as these 2 move around by themselves, and you can see the mounts as well, you can mount up just mid-combat because they're going to have to be careful. They've only got 2 of the available 4 players. Joe picking up a couple of items here. He's going to be fully slotted. And so you can find these epics, these purples, not just from the airdrops, but from these towns as well.
Well, the purples are epics, so they come from regular drops. The legendaries are actually gold, but that'll change around a bit. Yeah. So the epics are fairly good, but they're not quite as strong. And he's almost taken down. Yep, there's another chicken, which will probably
Ultim Joe. Oh, that was a big ultimate there from Joe. And you could actually see his ultimate damage was all, oh my God, they're all chickens in there. Nice shot, Joe. Hit him with the emo. You got to let him know after that one. Even his items, that damage is increasing the amount of ultimate damage as well. Genos' ultimate normally hits for 2,400, but Joe popped off there with about 3,600 onto all those unsuspecting. Now they're marking yet another question. And another question I have is these chests, do they only drop legendary, or do you have a chance of getting like epics in here as well?
The chests that drop out of the sky only drop the highest quality loot, which is legendary. Also, one thing, there's one you can see about to drop down. If they keep looking at it, they'll. Oh, I think there's a chest coming down. So, and it has a beam on top of it. So it's a nice area to congregate and get, and you'll have a lot of battles around there typically. One of the things that's important to know is that one of the only things that works a little differently here is there's a nice legendary. The ultimate only charges when you actually fight people and kill and get eliminations. It doesn't have like an automatic regen on it, so there's a lot less ultimate play in this particular mode.
Yeah, you can see that as Joe. He's at 9%, mix full, so he could ult on cooldown here when he wanted it. But Joe, you're right. Normally in Paladins, that's going to be passively charging, but like hi-rez mentioned, only in combat, healing a teammate, doing damage to an enemy is how you're going to charge up your ultimate. And this is not a separate client. This is just something you can queue for in Paladins, whether you're a new player or whether you log in every day, right?
Absolutely. It's just another mode that's being introduced. Everything that you've already acquired or purchased, whether it's skins, leveling up cards, anything else like that, will automatically be in this mode, and you'll earn it the same way. So it's just, it's going to be free, available to everybody that plays Paladins.
Mick falling pretty low here. We've got 19 remaining. Mick and Joe still going strong. They're very good players. Ooh, Joe's been turned into a chicken. He's got half HP grenade over the top. Is going to take him down. Mick's trying to catch the ultimate there, but he's going to go down as well. I know we've got some pro squads involved here. I see Spunky, I see Bugsy and Thiel, the Fnatic guys over there. They're still alive. I'm getting the nods. I'm getting the cameraman are heading over there. So maybe if we lose Mick, what we'll do is we'll go follow them for the rest of this game.
We can go now if you want to follow one of the pros to see how they're doing.
Absolutely. We got a squad of Fnatic and Nodus Vincier players. If we could move over to this game strong.
It looks like they went. It looks like they went for the 4 Victor squad.
Ooh, you know what they've done as well? They've picked up the cardio legendary. At least Thiel has. So as he's sprinting, he's going to be regenerating HP. They've got some decent loot. I see 1 legendary, 2 legendaries. Thiel's got the mother load, so he's going to be the one to watch here as we kind of wrap up. No ultimates available for these guys. How many we got left? Just about 18. And a good.
3 of them. 3 of them are still left.
Okay, yeah. So they did lose 1 teammate over here, but I think I'm liking their chances. Who we still got? Any other pros? Doesn't look like it. These guys have a pretty decent chance, I think, to take this one home. They're just raining down grenades right now. I wonder if these were the guys that, because Mick and Joe did get killed by grenades. So yeah, they did actually take down our developers there. And their glory was short-lived. A lot of shred going in right now. On to Andro. And like you were saying, you will, any of the champions, any of the skins that you own will be open and available to you as you queue up for this mode. But if you are brand new and you don't have all the champions, you're going to get 4 of them just absolutely for free.
And we can go down the line and look at some other champions being played if you want.
And you like, I'm liking the ability here to just be able to stack as many of a certain character that you want on your squad right now. That's something really cool. It's something that you don't get to see often in Paladins. And like we saw in the keynote, this has been designed from the ground up to be played in a squad of 4. Will there be the ability to queue as 2 or even solo, or are we going to stick to the team play of 4 in this?
There will definitely be a queue for 2, and there may also be a solo queue.
Okay, so Paladins does function best as a team. We've got a Drogos player down here. We got a Ying. A lot of Victors, though. We know we love that Victor.
I have to say that Drogos is one of the least best classes to play in this mode at the moment.
Who are your favorites so far? Who is what's the playtest meta? Who's been discovered to be the best champions for this mode right out of the gate?
I know that Grover's highly picked, actually. Those axes from a distance do a tremendous amount of damage, and he can climb with his rope all over the place. So that's a good one. Obviously, all the classes that have long-range shots, Kinessa, Victor and such would do well, but it all depends on team comp because I think we had a team of all turrets.
All barracks?
Barracks and such do very well as well. But I think that we'll find out that for a 4-person team, you'll still want to have some balance around healing, around shielding and such, if you want to play the optimal type of gameplay.
Absolutely. There's a lot of different things going on. And it also depends on where does this circle take you? Where is the fog going to close down on? If it's closing in on like a Jaguar Falls, you're going to want to have a closer range composition. But right now, these guys are just sort of fragging out in the middle of a field here. So Victor seems to be doing the best. He's the primary champion we're seeing left. We're seeing a couple of guys on those monitors in that row. They're actually up in the snow biomes, it looks like. But we're fighting right here on the edge of what looks like the summit. So we've got named towns, and if a settlement is marked on the map, is that typically where they'll see one of the Paladins maps that they're more familiar with? Like, will you see like a Jaguar Falls, or you'll roll up on a stone keep where something is actually named on the map?
Those maps are currently in there, but it's not necessarily going to stay that way. The map is going through some transitions. This is the earliest version of it, which is an alpha or pre-alpha version of the map, and the map is going to be changed a lot over the next 60 days or so. We do hope to bring this out early during this first quarter of the year to let people play.
Wow, that's really exciting stuff. And just a little update on our game here. We've got 15 remaining. A lot of chickens, though, so that number could start to dwindle down to 13, down to 12, actually. Those look like maybe our Fnatic guys fragging out just a little bit. Not too many people here left in this game, and this one's going to be closing down to the wire here. Teal, talk to me about your chances. How are you feeling? We got the barrage. Is that the barrage from the distance? Bugs, you find some cheeky strats?
That was a long-range barrage.
And that's just the way it works. I mean, this is just these are the Paladins champions. These are their kits. These are the abilities you know you love already, thrown into an absolutely massive map. Thiel and the guys picking up that big frag. A straggling Genos left alone in the wild. He's going to go down, and that is it. We are now in our top 10 situation. Bugsy's making some call out. They've spotted somebody kind of across the way here. The fog is getting really tight. You can actually almost see the entire circle just on the mini-map, letting you know that this is actually getting down to the wire. You can see 9 players remaining. So is that once in the top 10, we'll start to see that countdown live on screen?
I don't know.
Well, 10 players remaining. We'll have to follow it up. There's the fog. You can see under the minimap as well, you're seeing a little countdown timer. As the fog kind of contracts, it'll give you an on-screen indicator of how much time you have to move your butt into the death fog. And one other mechanic Joe was explaining to me is if you are downed, aka turned into a chicken, outside in the death fog, you will not be able to be resurrected. You will die instantaneously if you are outside of the play zone when you are taken down. The fog closing in. 8 players remain. Everyone pretty healthy from our pro squad over here, except Spunky's trying to get behind this rock, out of combat, and he's done so successfully, so he'll heal right back up. And there's going to be only 8 players remaining from now. Fnatic looking like they have a good chance. I'm trying to see who's still left in this. Maybe it might be somebody. Like hi-rez said, we got between 40 and 80 players here, so computers all throughout the expo hall, even out some into the hallway spilling out there, are getting involved here. 8 players remain. They're trying to put this chicken down.
Fog is getting tight.
Fog is getting really tight. You can see the entire zone on the minimap. You can mount up at any time, but my guys are feeling boots to the ground is kind of the play here. They've spotted, I think, what is the last squad. So they've got 3. There are 7 remaining. There could potentially be a full squad remaining, so that could be really dangerous for them if they run into an unfavorable fight. I don't know if that's a full squad that they'll have to be facing off against, though. They've got some pretty good loot here. Every single one of these guys, another one's going to fall. Looks like Spunky may have picked that one up, but they've all got some type of legendary loot here. And Theo's up on the hill. They got a good position here. I think they're going to have this one pretty much about wrapped up in a moment. They honestly just need to wait for the fog, I think, to push their enemies into them. They don't want to give up this high ground if they can help it. Theo's really geared out. They all have really good weapon slots here. So anti-heal, damage amp, that's going to be all a factor here. No real ultimates available. Theo's getting close, though. He's at 87%. They're just trying to pick this Victor off from a distance. Let's try and make a convincing move here. Theo, you think you can take him down? You can see, yeah, it's unfortunate, Joe. It's unfortunate. I agree with you, man. I think they were the ones that actually took you down, too. That grenade, the grenade came over the hill with such perfect trajectory. I figured it had to be one of these ding-dongs. Theo's going for the ultimate. He's got the big barrage. He's taking him down from a distance. 4 remaining. This is the last player left alive. He's been turned into a chicken, and there it is. Theo, Bugsy, Spunky, they are going to take the W of this, our demo here in the Expo Hall, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, hi-rez. Thank you, Mick. Thank you, Joe, wherever you guys are.